Hello everyone, Chris here, just prefacing this podcast by saying that we recorded this last night, so obviously today's shocking news is not included in this podcast. We will be doing an update podcast sort of middle of the week at some point to try and give our opinions on it. But take everything we say with a pinch of salt because obviously we weren't aware of the news. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Canary Guys podcast. I'm joined by the two boys as usual. It's been shit, hasn't it, boys?
I want to die.
This has been awful, honestly. I've not had a good Easter at all because of Norwich.
No, it's been ruined. Well, there's nothing positive. What can we say? It's all fucked.
I've got
it's
positive.
All completely fucked.
I've got positive.
Go on then.
2 games left.
Hey, season's nearly done. Yeah, that is the only fucking positive. We've got a lot to get into.
I actually have got a positive if you want that.
Oh, go on then.
Jacob Wright is actually a good footballer, and we're so lucky to have him, and we're so lucky he wants to stay permanently at this football club.
Yeah, fair enough. I can back that. Mind you, will he want to stay permanently after the last two fucking games? Lord only knows.
Absolutely not. Let's hope he's already signed that paperwork, though.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, we've got a lot to get into. We've got 2 games to cover this week, although I feel like the game reviews are probably going to be pretty short because they can kind of be mashed into one sort of big review because it was the same performance.
Yeah.
Lackluster, players on the beach, the manager has got no backup plan and doesn't seem to be working with his main plan, so I don't know where to start. Well, we'll start with the Portsmouth game on Friday.
Good Friday as well.
Good Friday, bad Friday for us. We conceded 5 fucking goals to Portsmouth.
It was poor.
It was poor. Smith.
Oh,
hey.
the podcast. Woo!
Definitely not the podcast title. That's fucking awful. A bit like us on Friday. I mean,
defense was let us down horrifically, and
we scored 3 goals. And you think, yeah, good.
Any other team scores 3 goals at home,
we've conceded 5.
But any other team doesn't have George Long in goal.
Yeah. And mind you, I'd like to come on to that because as much as I think George Long is about as much use as a paper bag.
Sorry, can I don't mean to interrupt you. So, as we know, Agnes had his baby, and Brian James Gunn himself put a post out about this, yeah? And I responded saying, can you look after his son today, so he can play today, yeah?
Yeah.
Brian James Gunn himself liked my reply.
Excellent.
Love that from him.
Fantastic. Anyway, back to George Long, who, as I said, is as much use as a paper bag. But I do think, and a lot of people made this point, you can't blame George Long entirely.
Yeah. I mean,
because let's be honest, the rest of the team were just as shocking, if not,
as you can see from my sausage roll reviews, I sit right behind the goal in Regency, and just ball watching Cordoba especially, but Duffy was walking. There was just no sort of.
Cordoba has had a particularly bad week.
Yeah, definitely, especially today as well.
We'll get on to today's game as well. Yeah, we're recording this on the Monday we've just played.
But I must admit, to be fair, with Long, I saw the first goal, and you see me in the full 90, you see me sort of waving my hand saying, what the fuck was that about? And then probably could have... I mean, the issue with Long is he doesn't, catch the ball. He bounces it away from him. He parries it. And
yeah, he's very bad for parrying it back into the path of attackers, isn't he?
And there was the second chance that Portsmouth had. It was just the flappiest flap since Flappy Bird. It was flapping, it hit Marcondes, it hit Duffy, it hit Gun. No, Gun. It didn't hit Gun. It hit Long about 5 times, and then it
It's
somehow
flappier than your
stayed
man.
out. But flappy as hell. And then for the penalty, I was getting chips, so I missed that, thankfully.
That's fair.
But yeah.
I don't blame you at all.
I left 40th minute to get chips. I was so glad I did.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. That was just absolutely shocking. There's not even a lot of tactical analysis you can give to it because we were just all over the place. Like there was no real positives. Like going forward, we had 3 good moments.
Yeah.
We just took those chances, but we were completely uninspired. The players look like they're already on holiday.
Yeah.
Most of the players, I think there's a lot of players who know they're off and don't want to play anymore. I think the whole mentality of the club at the moment is in the gutter.
Yeah. And that ain't going to get better anytime soon.
Well, there needs to be a drastic change.
I think our midfield just looks so like out of the games at the minute. Like a couple of months back, I remember thinking, well, when we have a full fit midfield, we've got so many options. We've got such good midfield, arguably the best in the league. But these last 2 months, they've just looked disjointed out of games, and it's just irritating me because Jacob Wright, and I've already said how good he's been on this podcast and how good he's been the last couple of weeks. He doesn't deserve this because he's such a young lad. He's came into here, first time he's starting senior football minutes, and he's performed. But his midfield partners, who are way more experienced than him, are just not helping him, and that is going to affect him in the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Nunes especially has just been off it. I don't know. He's either carrying an injury or he knows he ain't going to be here next season, so he's just not bothering because he has been woeful.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I think the truth of the matter is where the problem lies for me is defensively.
Yeah.
Look, all you have to do is look at the number of goals we've scored and the number of goals we conceded. I mean, we are on a goal difference of +1.
And
Despite
that's
having
with scoring 66
one of the
goals this
highest
season.
scoring teams in the league. That's not on. We're on the same number of points as QPR and only a point ahead of Portsmouth.
Just give it a minute.
It's embarrassing.
That is shocking reading. It's absolutely, it's just so poor. I think we're on for as far as I know, we're on for our worst finish points wise.
Yeah, it's confirmed
15
today.
years.
Yeah.
We're 10 points off bottom of the league, Plymouth. 10.
And if we don't win,
and we're 10 points off Middlesbrough, who are 7th. So we are, and we've been absolutely midfielded.
and if we don't win another one of our games and say the bottom 3 win all theirs, we will be 1 point off relegation.
Which is incredible for a team that we were playoff contenders a few months ago. Easily.
It makes you think what happened though, because that October, November period, we were like, okay, this project is going to be good. And then it decreased with Sargent's injury, Borja's ban, and then we have a 3 to 4 week period of, okay, we're still in this picture. And then we were on this up, down, and now we're just fully down. And it's just something has to happen behind closed doors for this to happen.
1 win in the last 10.
What was Wagner's at the end of his first season when he joined halfway through? Was it 11?
I can't remember, but he was still winning games.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
Admittedly, right. This is what I want. Another thing I want to get onto, because I've seen a lot of fans saying, "Oh well, we sacked Wagner, and you wanted this style of football, and that's why it's not working." I don't agree with that at all, and I think a lot of people are protecting Johannes Hoff for it because it's the players. It's the players. You can't put all of the blame on the players the same way you can't put all the blame on the manager. It's an equal responsibility. At the end of the day, the manager's job is to impress that style of football on the players that he has at his disposal.
Yeah.
Can we confidently say that he is doing that with that squad at the moment?
No.
No.
No, not at all. Like, don't get me wrong, his style of play, the way he wants to play football, for me, is the right way. This is the difference between the Wagner situation and the JHT situation we find ourselves in now. The Wagner situation, the issue was the actual style of play. This is not an issue with style of play or philosophy or anything of that regard. It is psychology. It's getting the players up for it. It's getting the players to actually listen to that system, which is all man management things. And it makes me wonder, does he actually have the level of man management that's required to run a competitive championship team?
He can't. I mean, if you listen to the things that are coming out of the club, you listen to like the little tweets and whatnot, like, and you just look at the disciplinary record this season. You've had Kenny McLean banned, you've had Signs banned, you've had Abu Kamara, you've had Johnny Rowe pushing for moves.
Yeah,
You've had Duffy questioning him on Twitter and supposedly liking a post calling him shite.
Yeah.
That's if you're a manager who's respected, you don't get that.
No, there's been a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that sort of thing with players revolting against him almost. And I just wonder whether he actually commands any respect in the dressing room. And his man management skills, where are they? Because at the minute, for me, it's clear that a lot of the players in that squad, and don't get me wrong, we need a big clear out. And there are some players who I don't think should ever play for us again after this season.
Mm-hmm.
For 100%. I can probably tell you 7 or 8 players who I would get rid of.
And that's grim for the future of the club.
But
You don't want to be
I
changing.
honestly think we need to sign at least 10 players in the summer. That sounds mental for us, but I think we genuinely need that many players.
No, same. So do I.
If we want to be anywhere near competing for playoffs, which, again, that's another thing I want to get onto. Zoe Webber's comments in the programme about how we've not hit our goal for top 6, or we're not going to hit our goal for top 6. And
I do have the programme here if you want me to read it out.
Yeah, go for it. Go for the quote.
Yep. The exact quote is... Hello, Zoe. As we approach the end of the season and following recent results, there is a real frustration around the training centre that we have fallen short of our target of the top 6 this season. Heading into the campaign with some significant changes, we knew that this would be a season with challenges along the way.
Fair enough. But
target.
Yeah, and then obviously we had the BBC Radio Norfolk interview after the game where they questioned him on that, and Johannes didn't even seem to have a clue. It was like Zoe Webber had thrown him under the bus.
Yeah.
Completely.
That's grim as fuck.
I think there's a real disconnect between the leadership of the club and what Johannes actually wants, in a way. And that's not what we were led to believe. We were led to believe that they were all working together.
And there was a plan, and there was a whole transition thing, and this was the whole idea, yeah?
I don't think there's a transition at all. I think the word transition is being bandied about to make excuses for the fact that the performance hasn't been good enough. As transition this, transition that, we can't have a transition every season.
Exactly. That's my concern with what's going to happen if we get rid of the deadwood this season and then make these 10 signings or whatever. It's going to be another transition season.
Bedding them in is the first problem. How do you bed in 10 players? But you need that many players to freshen it up because we've left ourselves in a position where we are going to need a ridiculous overhaul. And I think you almost need to start afresh in the summer. New players, dare I say it, new manager. And that is going to cause a lot of controversy, I know. And we'll get to where
it's a fair question,
with the whole, is JHT out of his depth or is he still in it in a bit? But possibly new manager in there to completely rebuild this squad from ground up. I don't know whether JHT is the right man to rebuild a squad. Truthfully. I don't know what you boys think.
Yeah, I'm just very on the fence with everything. Like, I'm not sure if JHT is the right man, but then I also can see what he tries to do. But I haven't seen that in 2 to 3 months, and it's just like, what on earth has happened? Like, I think it's something that's happened in the dressing room, and they won't address that as the club. Fair enough. But saying that, like,
I can totally see what he's trying to implement. I agree with you there, but he's not implementing it.
and I just think I think I'm gonna have a go at a certain player here,
Please go on. Yes.
and I think. I'm going to say it because I don't care what people think, because he's been absolutely atrocious the second half of the season. Bore her signs, there is blood on your hand, you egotistical bastard, mate. Because, yeah.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
First half of the season,
His name's annoying me. Go on.
you were banging in goals, linking up with your teammates, doing your job properly, yeah? And what? You don't score a goal for a couple of games. Everyone goes through that drought, and then you just throw your toys out the primary chance you get. Oh, a pass is half a yard where you don't want it. Run onto the ball, mate. Come on, you're a professional footballer, you get paid for it. That is your job, mate.
Can I continue this?
Yeah, you can.
It just frustrates me how he can have the audacity to have a strop when he's subbed off at the 60th minute today. Apparently, it was pre-planned as well, which makes it even more confusing why he was having a strop about it. You haven't scored in however many games. You scored 2 goals this year. You spat on an opponent player, which is just disgusting. You the club released this nice video of him. He's a nice guy, right? But you got to be a fucking good footballer. You got to have some passion. You've got to just fight. Just when you pass the ball, don't just stop because you don't think you're going to make it. You will make it if you fucking run for it.
Yeah, I would totally agree. He's very, very on his heels now. He used to be anticipating where the runs were,
Yeah,
or anything
and
like
he
that.
doesn't shoot. He doesn't shoot anymore. He doesn't pass anymore. He doesn't do
Ego.
anything.
Doesn't seem to release the ball ever, which is really strange. Like, I don't know
Dobbin,
what's
when
happened to
Dobbin
him.
was fit, he was better than him, yeah?
He was
Well,
100. Well, we said that several times on this podcast.
yeah. And I'll tell you what. Liam Gibbs, mate, have your flowers, pal. When you came on
Yeah.
today, you at that left wing, I don't know what your hands thinking putting you there, because you are a midfielder, but fair enough, yeah? I'm not going to criticise it. We're short on wingers, because you're
He
a
gave it a go,
disappeared.
right? You know full well. I am Liam Gibbs' number one hate watch.
Yeah.
However, he did have a good go at it.
He
Is
did.
Liam
he the
Gibbs
most
did
technically
more
gifted
at
player?
Liam Gibbs did more at left wing in 30 minutes than Science has done this year.
And I remember on this podcast a couple of weeks ago, I think this is the episode where, Chris, you might have been in Mexico, when I remember saying to Robbie, I said, Liam Gibbs will perform under Johannes because he's a player there which, if you look at our midfield options, we have 2 holding midfielders in Kenny and Wright. Kenny's been forced to play left back. You've got
I
3 or
thing is,
4 attacking midfielders in Schwartau, Marcondes, Forsen. Nunes is attacking. Slimani's attacking. But in terms of a box-to-box, who's going to be a relentless man to get you up and down the pitch? For
I
me,
don't mind him playing Gibbs a little bit more forward in midfield, but he
yeah.
has to be central. He's not a winger.
No, he's not. And that's what I
He's
mean.
not a winger.
For me, he is a box-to-box midfielder. And I tell you what, when he's on it, he's actually good at that job. And I'm not against who we got next, Middlesbrough away, yeah? I think he deserves a start. Yeah. I'd go my midfield. I'd go Forsen, Gibbs, and Wright, because them Nunes. What are you playing at the minute, mate? You've been poor.
Yeah, he's off it as well.
Marcondes, you've been poor. I know you might get your contract extension, but you've been poor. Schwartau's forced playing on the right wing because Jurasek has genuinely disappeared off this planet. Sienach is injured. I don't know what's happened to him. When's he back?
I put a tweet out earlier. I was saying I think that Eurosec is actually in everyone's head. He's like a figment of our imagination, and that
What's it called? Mandela effect. He's a Mandela effect. He never signed for
everyone's suddenly imagined that we've got this player who's played for us, and it actually never happened.
I think the warning signs were there, to be fair. I mean, like, in the promo videos we did of him training out in Prague, he was blowing, and he'd done about, like, a 3-meter run.
Yeah, it's worrying who came up with the decision that was the signing that we'd sanction. I mean, look at where
83
else we could have
minutes.
spent that money.
He's only
On
Some of
played.
the
a
players
backup
who the other
striker, maybe.
championship clubs got in as well.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but I think we'd have almost been better served buying a backup striker.
yeah,
We had to play fucking Marcondes as a false nine, like multiple times.
Don't get me wrong, yeah. When he had them 2 games, he did look all right, and I thought, okay, there's a player here, but we haven't played a game since what, February?
Yeah, it's just been either constantly injured. I think they've killed him and they're just hiding it now.
Like, the only highlights I've seen of him is a highlight of him getting a bloody haircut.
There's Matt Jarvis part two.
Honestly.
Honestly, it is mental. It's
We're,
absolutely
we're
ridiculous.
turning into a playground. Like, we're seen as a stepping stone club at the minute. Like,
I don't think that has changed though, because I think we've always been seen as a stepping stone
yeah,
club.
I get
Let's
that.
be
But
real.
at least there was a bit of passion in it. Now there's no passion.
Yeah, some of them they just don't want to play for us, do they? Realistically,
Oh, come to Norwich. Johannes
it's,
wants to teach these young players how to play football. But then we don't
but we're
play
not
the
playing with
football.
we're not playing with young players at the minute.
exactly.
We've not got any young players on the side really. There's a couple. The players who are starting the games are not young players. You've got Shane Duffy at the back, for fuck's sake. George Long in goal. These aren't young players. These are past it, washed players
Honestly,
who
I
need
think
fucking clearing out of the club.
Ben Napper and whoever the manager is at that point have got a challenge and a half on their hands this summer.
I don't even mind experienced players, but you need experienced
No,
players who've
and
got
I agree.
hunger.
Yeah, but I want experienced players who know what it's like to wear the shirt for Norwich, go out there, give you what, a 7 out of 10 performance every week, and die for the badge. Like, them chance they saying you're not fit to wear the shirt, they're not fit to wear the shirt. What is this all about?
Also, they've got to be experienced players who've still got legs left. Because, for example, Ashley Barnes, we'll mention, who, to be fair, when he played for Norwich, gave it everything,
Yeah,
but
he did.
didn't have a lot to give in the first place, basically.
Yeah,
So they've got to be still fit enough to play at championship level. I don't mind an older player if they're going to come and do a job for us.
but
I
then
got no problem with that whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? But
if you're older players, and the likes of Duffy, who are quite obviously wrong uns off the pitch,
well,
and that's not going to be a
Duffy's
good influence on
attitude.
the
I'm
dressing
sorry.
room, is it?
I thought, you know what? I like his personality on the pitch sometimes.
Yeah,
Some of his antics off field and this whole liking social media posts supposedly and God knows what he's fucking doing. It's just childish.
yeah.
Completely childish. You're a
Bit of a now.
33-year-old player. You should be setting the example in the dressing room for the young players, and he's not fucking doing it.
Yeah,
And if I was him, let's be honest, if we think about it, if we think about the wages that the players are on at our club, Shane Duffy is probably picking up one of, if not the highest wage at the club,
that's great.
realistically.
Yeah,
He'll be on big wages because of his status as a former Premier League player and what have you, experience. Be on big wages. He'll be picking those up every week. Why does he give a fuck? Let's not forget, this is the same man who, when he played for Blackburn and was desperate for a move away, scored 2 own goals on purpose.
I sort of want that to happen against Cardiff. This is funny.
Literally, he's
Johannes
a
won't drop him, though.
shithouse, right? And I have no issue with a shithouse, but when they turn on your team,
Yeah,
the problem. You want to be a shithouse to everyone else, not to us.
and that's the issue. Like Ashton just said a minute ago, hey, Jahaz ain't gonna drop him.
No.
And if we've brought McConville in, he's played barely any minutes. He's coming on for like 20-second sub appearances. Like, I understand him not coming on today because you've got a young Reyes in goal. Probably too much change at the back
Well, yeah, but
to
then, again,
facilitate it.
the substitutions make no sense
Yeah, yeah,
today at all.
yeah,
What were we 3-1 down? And
yeah.
he goes, let me bring on a centre back for a midfielder.
Yeah.
What? Just why? What is the point?
And
You've got
Mark
Forsman sitting on the
Forson,
bench doing nothing.
Free Forson.
Mark
Free
Forson, by the way,
Forson.
Free
Who
Forson,
admittedly has not been consistent this season, but at least offers something when he comes on. And
yeah,
has had moments where he could change the game.
he has, yeah.
You've got to
That
have those
Coventry game was
players.
honestly, he deserved that.
Your
I said,
substitutes are all about making impact. He was making subs like we were. We were the ones that were 3-1 up, and we're defending the lead.
Yeah, and again, like he's always saying that these subs are pre-planned. Don't what's the point of
Which is
pre-planning a
crazy.
sub? You might be
Why would
4-0
you
up, or you might be
pre-plan a
4-0
sub?
down. Sub when you need to substitute a player when they're tired, when you think you can change the game, not when
It's about changing the game. You don't substitute a player pre-planned.
exactly.
Crazy,
God,
absolutely crazy stuff. Just the whole point of a substitute is to make an impact on the game.
change the game
That's
exactly.
why you do it. Admittedly, obviously, you can do stuff for fitness reasons as well. But you can have an idea and pre-plan roughly where you're going to change it. But you have to be reactive. You can't just go, "Well, this is my plan, so I've got to do it."
it's all about adaptability, and that's what I think.
Exactly. And I don't think Johannes has any adaptability.
No, and that's what I was about to say. I think out of
And this is where he's falling down. And that's why I feel now, and I will say it hand on heart, until this point, I had not made my mind up on JHT in or out. I was on the fence. I've been tipped over the fence. I am now JHT out.
Yeah,
Truth be told. I don't know where you guys sit with that, as I said, but I've lost all confidence in the fact that he can actually make a change to affect the game.
yeah. No, it's fair enough. Like we've had one result this season in which he's adapted his style, and that was West Brom.
Yeah.
He adapted the style, and that was a very lucky win as well. You have to admit that was a very lucky win
Yeah, it was.
to win against West Brom,
Yeah.
playing like that. We've played. I think personally, we have played his system, his football, well twice, and that was against Hull and Watford at home, and that was against teams who didn't bother adapting their system against us. Every other team has adapted, and every other team can easily get the better of our system.
That's because they can easily guess what we're going to play because we stick to one system.
Yeah,
But we're not even. All right, they can prepare for that system, but if you execute our system correctly, it doesn't matter how you set up, they don't stop it. But
yeah.
because we're so easily guessable, and then we don't play the system properly anyway, I mean, all you've got to do is watch the number of times we play out from the back. And I am all for playing out from the back. Don't get me wrong. I don't want a long ball hoof it every 5 seconds because it's shit football.
Yeah,
But
no,
the
it is.
number of times our centre mids or centre backs give the ball away completely needlessly under no pressure whatsoever. And you think you're professional footballers. You can pick out a 6-yard pass. It's not that difficult.
I just want the season to end.
Yeah, we're all ready for the season to end, aren't we? We've gone off on a massive rant and a tangent. We've not even actually got to the Millwall score, which, in case you've been living under a rock, we lost 3-1 today. And we didn't. We just didn't turn up, truthfully. Yet again, set pieces were a big issue. Thank you, Nick Stanley, my favourite man. But we scored from a set piece.
Hey, you say nothing
Yeah,
from
but that
Barry.
goal from Jacob Wright was just class, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It didn't come from Nick Stanley having the perfect set piece routine of who goes where.
No, and let's be honest, we can't defend a set piece to save our
No,
fucking
exactly.
life.
That was just individual brilliance from Jacob Wright. That goal today.
It's what Chris Gorham and Rob Butler have been saying on BBC Radio Norfolk, and I don't like to use their opinions because I'll be honest, I don't rate Rob Butler's footballing opinions, but what he's saying is actually correct. In this instance, he said, Norwich at the minute, literally, all the opposition team has to do is put a somewhat quality ball into the box,
Yeah.
whether it be a set piece, whether it be from the wing on a cross, and we're in trouble. We panic.
That
No one
first
puts the
goal
man up.
today absolutely stunk, by the way. Honestly,
It's just awful. One of the worst goals I've ever seen.
it came off the player's knee, and it's
The
just
guy
like,
didn't even mean to score it.
no, he didn't.
That's how bad we are. We've literally conceded to an accidental knee.
I must say it was grim because I didn't have a stream and Chris very kindly gave me his Sky login and I logged in, I turned it on, and the first thing I saw was Duffy kicking his net angrily. And I thought, oh, that's good.
And then you saw the replay of the man bobbling it
And then
off his fucking knee,
yeah.
which is magnificent. Which, Ivanovic, by the way, is he a relative of Branislav by any chance?
Any other one? Oh, no, sorry, that's a Preston. I'd ignore me.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. No, that's what's my itch you're thinking of, isn't it?
Yeah, the one who potentially said a racist
Are you just
comment.
generalising all Serbians now?
No, that looks bad when I did it.
No, that's fine. No, I was only wondering, because I was going to say we should have like Luis Suarez him. Just bit him.
I'll tell you what pissed me off today. George Saville, mate, you're a bloody knobhead. Straight bellend, honestly.
Yeah, but again, he was fucking good for free kicks.
Oh,
Nobody pissed me off more than a Norwich player today. So
Oh, no. There are some names that piss me off more than him.
Go
But
on,
we're taking the Norwich players that pissed me off today.
right, so...
Reyes, Stacey.
Reyes, Stacey.
Wright is safe, though. Wright has not pissed me off. Schwartau didn't. I can't get angry at him. He's 18 years old.
yeah, it's not his fault.
Marcondes, you pissed me off half the time you're passing. I don't think you can pass the ball properly.
Schwartz's a really weird player, though, don't you find? Because he's he reminds me of Kai Havertz in so many ways, in the fact that no one knows what his actual position is.
I was about to say that. He's played in a
Where
different
does he
position
play?
every week.
He's a 10. He's not on the wing. He's a 10.
I don't know what this obsession is with managers, and this is across all football. This isn't just Norwich shoving their midfield players out wide.
Yeah, I hate it. Oh, what do you mean?
almost to try and shoehorn them into the team, right? Which is all well and good if you want that player to play, but you have to find a place for him in his natural position. You can't shove these players out on the wings and expect them to perform the same way.
That Swansea game, honestly, Schwartau was brilliant. And guess where he was playing? As the 10.
Yes. Yeah, and that was his best position for me.
Yeah. And
since then, he hasn't played there again.
Yeah. What on earth? Oh, my days. Okay.
He's a good 10. But I just, again, that's the whole thing. And it's with wing play. And again, this is another general football thing that I've noticed. How many times do you actually see wingers now take on their man? It's
Honestly,
extremely rare.
it's so rare.
You never see a winger to the point where if you see a winger take on his man, it's almost a treat. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's so good," because he's actually dared to take someone on.
Yeah. I miss Lewis Dobbin.
What we need is someone with the quality of Borja Sainz, but the brain of Ono Hernandez.
Oh no.
There's no way Ono Hernandez got a half compliment today, honestly.
Well, for all his fucking fours, he runs a lot. And he is direct, right?
To be fair,
He's got no end product, and yes, he should not be at this football club. Let's be honest. He missed a sitter today against Millwall.
He really should have shot.
Missed an absolute sitter. But he is direct. He will take a man on. He'll try it. But you almost see when he plays now, he's almost been strangled by Thorpe's tactics. Because how many times does Hernandez, where he would have taken on the man and gone around the outside previously, check back and pass backwards to the right back?
Yeah.
It's every other attack. They all do it. Science doesn't do the same thing because Science seems to have one default setting of cut inside and run at the defence.
don't shoot, just run around him.
But why would you not take your man on the outside? He's quick. He's got enough pace to go round the outside of a defender. If you always go inside, you're so easily readable. It's absolute football, like Sunday League basics that these players aren't doing.
And again, I think that's down to management.
Yeah, because they've been told to play a certain way. Which, as I say, I'm not against the actual style of play he's trying to implement, but there are tweaks that you have to make sometimes where a defender is, defender's tracking you going on the inside. Okay, well, let's try outside then.
Mm-hmm.
But there's never a tweak made. Well, we'll stick to our system. The only time he changes it is to put 5 at the back. Well,
That's honestly
Just
so dreadful.
great, let's play wing backs. All right. But the problem again then is you're still playing that same style of play, and all you're doing is taking a winger away
yeah.
so that the wing backs can play. It's fucking crazy. It drives me insane.
I just think, well, shit. That's the only way I can sum it up.
We are completely shit. But
Where has it come from? Like, I don't care if it came from JHT, the players, the dressing room. Like, where I need to know where this came from.
All of those things. It's all of those. It's a combination of everything. You can't pin it on one single thing. We've got a set of players who aren't good enough. We've got a manager who has no backup plan, who can't implement his actual philosophy, and a dressing room that, to me, he has completely lost.
My issue with Forup, like he said in today's post-match press conference with the Bingham guys, he said that like he was asked what the reaction was in the dressing room, and he was like, "Well, I wasn't angry. I haven't really talked about it to him." And I was like, "What?
That's your job."
He didn't think it was the right time to talk to him. But you do after a game where 3,000 fans have travelled to watch their team play on a bank holiday when there's no trains. And 3,000 fans have seen that. Buses didn't even get there on time, by the way. 3,000 fans have watched that shite. If you're going back in that dressing room, you want to be shouted at. Not like, oh, that's all right, I'll see you tomorrow.
He should be demanding better standards of those players, and I don't think he is.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, hand on heart now, this is the first game I thought it, as I say, that we need to change something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the manager's out of his depth. I really do.
It's fair to say he's inexperienced. He's young.
How many years? You've got to get hold of the dressing room early if you're inexperienced. That's what you've got to do. You've got to go in there, stamp your authority, and say, "Look, this is how we play. This is my system. You listen to it and you play that way." Yeah, he's not done that.
Fair enough. And like in the club's like on the ball documentary thing, you have the snippets of the dressing room scenes, but I think they are so carefully chosen. I would like to see a snippet like after today's, because if he really went after that game, he just went, "Okay, lads, see you tomorrow." That's not acceptable.
All these documentaries, right? They are playing up to the camera. They know the cameras are there.
100%.
Obviously, they're playing it to the camera because they know the fans are going to watch it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just done with the season.
Yeah, I'm completely done. Obviously, we can't get promoted. We can't get relegated. We're just in the midfield now. That's it. We're lucky we can't get relegated, really.
We're really lucky we can't get relegated.
Because the way these games are going, I would not be shocked if the last 2 games we drop points on both.
I think we lose both.
I think we lose both, yeah.
No, we don't lose Aaron Ramsey's Cardiff, do we?
Think about it. They have something to play for.
Cardiff could beat us. They've got relegation to play for. We've got fuck all to play for.
Honestly, if we lose to Aaron Ramsey's Cardiff last game of the season, I don't know what I think of this whole football club, let alone JHT.
Well, get yourself ready, because I think it's coming.
It is. They drew 1-1 to Oxford today. But
again, they're playing for something. We aren't. We've got nothing to play for at all. The only way that we have a chance against them is if they're already down by that point.
I'm now checking the table.
Which they probably won't be.
They're at 43 points with 2 games to go. And Derby, who are 21st, have 46. So they need a win, and with goal difference, they need a win and a draw, and Derby to lose both.
I want Plymouth to stay up for pie face.
So basically, we need to prey on Derby picking up points.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or, yeah, no. I mean,
who do you want relegated? That's the question.
Luton,
Who do I
Cardiff,
want relegated?
Yeah.
to stay up.
Who do I want relegated, or who do I think will be relegated?
Who do you think will be relegated?
Norwich. No one Norwich relegated. Teach them a lesson.
Who do I think will be relegated? I think Plymouth, Cardiff, and I think Derby.
Yeah.
I can't see Luton going down again.
They've been bouncing back recently. So I think same
Luton have
Plymouth,
been much
Cardiff,
better
and
recently.
I'd like Hull to be relegated, but they're out of it now. I think so. Yeah. Luton. No, sorry, Plymouth, Cardiff, and Derby.
I also kind of want Derby to get relegated because I think it would be funny for the bloke what's their manager, John Eustace, who left
Yeah,
Blackburn, who were in the
Yeah.
playoff places, to then get relegated.
But to be fair, Blackburn have been a mess as well. So
Yeah, but Blackburn have been a mess since he left. So
yeah,
it worked out badly for both parties because Blackburn have been worse since he left, and he's joined a relegation team. Like,
smart move.
absolutely crazy from both sides, but there we are.
I want Plymouth to stay up personally just for Pieface. I love watching Pieface vlogs.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Plymouth staying up at all. I think they're quite a good club, actually. But I don't see them staying up. I think they're doomed, truthfully. So yeah, I think we've got a lot of work to do, and I am now of the opinion that a manager change is probably necessary.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of which, we did run a poll.
Yep, yeah, we can
Do you
get
want me
onto
to
that.
talk you through the results of that?
The problem is that we ran this poll before today's game. I will
We
just
did.
preface that.
Yeah.
But it gives you an idea of where everyone was feeling in between, sort of in the middle of the week. I'd
Yeah,
like
definitely.
to run it again. Well, I think the plan for us is to run this again after this podcast goes out
Yeah, we'll be
and
doing that.
see where everyone actually is, because I feel like a lot more people will have turned.
Yeah. The tweet was, we'll be recording episode 10 of the podcast tonight. So a simple question this week, are you Hoff in or Hoff out? And I did put, feel free to await today's result, but obviously I don't blame people for not wanting to go on Twitter after the result. So 44 votes in total, 52.3% were Hoff in, 22.7% were Hoff out, 22.7% were undecided. So
Now, I will fully admit that I voted on that poll before the game,
So
and I put undecided.
I put undecided.
I put undecided as well.
If I was to re-vote on that poll, I would have half out.
I think I would too.
I think I'd still be undecided.
There we go. So it's what, 75% of us? No,
Yeah.
what's 2/3? It's not 75%, is
About
it?
66.
66.666666666. Yeah. Yeah, so we would be majority Hoff out now.
And it's
Which
sad to
is
say, because
unusually reactive from me and you, but
yeah, especially me. I'm never usually reactive. I'm normally given time.
yeah,
But
and I would normally be the same, but my problem is that normally I'm happy to give them time when I can see that there is a plan in place, that we're
yeah,
going somewhere.
that's what I was gonna say. There's no
I can't
substance
see a
to back
future.
him.
I
Yeah,
can't see a future.
yeah, no, same.
I think it needs a total and utter overhaul. And I'd love to see what the people put on the next poll, because I think, based on our conversations today with other Norwich fans that we've spoken to, I think, truth be told, the opinion will be a lot stronger now.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you boys a question then, because you boys are both off out?
Yeah.
Go on.
If you had the choice to pick, well, give me your top 3 managers you would replace Hoff with.
Russell Martin, and Russell Martin.
Fair.
He is my man. Honestly, I would love Russell Martin.
Yeah, I get that. Norwich legend, and I love him.
I don't know who else I'd actually go for. He's
That's what I
the
mean,
clear
like-
one for me.
It's just like the options aren't the same anymore. You know?
And I know what people are going to say, because everyone will say, "Oh, well, you said Russell Martin. Well, he wants to play possession football. He plays the same way." Blah blah blah. Blah. Yes, that's fine. I don't have a problem with the style of football at all. I really like the style of football that Johannes Hoff is trying to play. The key word is that he is trying to play it and not actually playing it.
Yeah.
What about you,
I'll
Ryan?
give you my
think
top three.
Yeah,
Russell Martin would execute that perfectly.
Yeah, my top three again for the continuation of style of play. I would say Russell Martin. Two other left field ones. The what's his name? The England under-21 guy,
oh,
Big
Lee
Sam
Carter.
Allardyce.
Lee Carsley.
Yeah, I do back that. That's actually quite a nice shout. I do like that.
Lee Carsley or David Moyes. I think West Ham have been shit since he's left.
He's at
Yeah,
Everton,
he's
right?
at Everton.
Oh, is he?
He wouldn't leave Everton. He's done really well with them.
What
Oh,
about former Everton man Sean Dyche? I'd take
didn't
Sean.
realise that.
Daichi, that's a shout.
If Dyche,
Again,
I,
I think he'll be
the people
branded
of Norfolk
into
would die
those.
with Dyche
I was
Sport.
gonna say, I think he'll be branded into those managers that people don't want
Yeah.
in the club. Do you know
I
what I mean?
remember when Wagner was sacked. Sorry, not Wagner. When Dean Smith was sacked. I
Yeah.
remember saying to my granddad, I said, Dyche is the man because he was unemployed at this
Yeah.
point.
Somebody like Dyche probably would have kept us up.
All the wages. I said,
would have
I'd
actually.
rather spunk most of the wage bill on our gaffer who I know can perform for us.
I would have actually liked Deitch at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take Dyche now.
I don't think Deitch is the right man for a complete rebuild, personally.
No.
If you're going to have the manager who you want in for the long term, I don't think Deitch is the one. It's just, but it's the same as all these kind of old school managers with their older style tactics. Like, I unironically, and this will sound mad to be saying on this podcast, I unironically really like Sam Allardyce.
I love Neil Warnock.
Yeah.
He's a
Neil
shit.
Warnock for the vibes.
But they're players they're not players, they're managers who, admittedly, will not play the prettiest of football. Well, I think sometimes that gets a bit understated because I think actually when you watch a lot of Allardyce teams, they didn't play long ball as much as people would make out.
But they don't
I think
make
of
the
it.
players fight.
What about Steve Cooper? Would you
Yeah,
want to
this
take
is the thing.
Cooper?
Yeah.
Steve Cooper would be an interesting one, and I wouldn't be mad at it.
No.
Yeah, no, no.
The
I
thing
definitely
is,
wouldn't be angry if Steve Cooper came in.
this is why I'm undecisive on Hoff out because it's not necessarily that I think Hoff will perform for us. It's more of a who do you replace him with? Like I get the Russell Martin shout, but and I know we had this conversation before the pod. That Premier League record this season scares me, and I get that the Southampton team was poor, fair enough. But if it was someone like a Deitch or a Cooper, then I'd take Hoff out and bring Deitch and Cooper in.
You know what? Tell you what. I remember when Forup was hired, it was very like it's going to be a lot more internal process. So Glenn Riddlestrom,
Oh, big
head coach.
I really wish we got Carlos Cuesta, the Arsenal number 2. I really liked him, and I remember when that link was happening, I was like, "That's the man." But obviously,
I'm going to disagree on this. I think if we employ someone like Cuesta or Glenn, we're going down the same route as Johannes. We need a proven quantity this time.
I mean, Glenn's actually won stuff
Well, yeah, but like in
in the English leagues, yeah.
Yeah, in the UK. I know that sounds racist as fuck.
No, it's not. It's fair.
It's not. It's like you have to be proven in this league for me, at least,
Yeah.
or Premier League proven.
honestly,
Or
I
even
think
if they're a League One manager who's won titles there, like that's fine. But some experience of the English game and how we play here.
How about what current championship manager, obviously not like top 3, would you have here?
I was going to say
If you could pinch someone from
If you could steal someone from any team,
Lampard.
No, do you know who I would have?
go on,
I'd pinch the Johannes Hoff lookalike. I'd have Liam Manning from Bristol
Liam
City.
Manning. Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I like that.
We could do that. We
Let's
could,
be honest, he has got them fucking playing.
if they don't
Also,
go up,
he's a Norfolk boy.
He
yeah.
is.
If they don't go up, we can sort of do it on the down low and pretend that we didn't make the change.
Yeah, we could just
If we just
dress him up like Johannes.
If we just
If he is a
kidnap him,
lookalike,
if we just kidnap him and like drop off Johannes at Bristol, just see how long it takes.
yeah, I would happily have Liam Manning. That would
Actually,
be
I've changed my answer from Frank Lampard.
Would you also have Liam Manning?
No, I actually wouldn't.
Who would you have?
Danny Rowe.
I was about to say that as well. Yeah.
That's a good shout. Yeah,
Honestly.
also a very good manager. Yeah,
But
I would
if there
say
was no
Lewis Barrow at the minute.
restrictions, I'm taking Fark in a heartbeat.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love Farker back.
I don't know why we sacked him.
Bring back Farker, bring back Big Andy, Max Aarons.
So
Webber in,
many
Delia in.
Germans, and they all go hand in hand, hand in hand in hand. Fuck
Bring back
life.
Tom Tribal, bring back Marco Staperman.
Oh, bring back Mario Vrancic, my Bosnian goat, man. I love
Bring back Jordan Hugo.
Hugo.
It's that Hugh Goals.
Love the
What a
guy.
boy. I do, to be fair, I genuinely have a passionate love of Jordan Hugo.
I tell you what, 18-19 Jordan Rhodes off the bench did perform, to be fair to him.
Yeah. We've had a lot of good players in the past, but they are all aging now. That's the problem. They're all like 35 now. But yeah, what more you can say, really?
Yeah, I think I've had enough of going through those games because
Absolutely. Let's move on to the fun section, which is the sausage roll reviews. Well, obviously we've got the awards, but we start with our sausage roll reviews. We've got a few this week.
we can't get enough of gobbling sausage on this
Exactly,
podcast.
we are serial sausage munchers on this podcast. Robbie, I think obviously you're the custodian of the sausage roll review, so you should probably start.
Yeah, I'm the pro, so I'll start it off. So
I'm the pro. I've done this before.
I'm the pro of goblin sausage.
exactly, I'm used to
I
it now.
love a sausage.
So yeah, I went to the match against Portsmouth. God knows why. But I'll have that on screen now. Norwich City versus Portsmouth sausage roll review. Appearance, I gave a 9 out of 10. A bit burnt on the other side. I sort of faced it towards the best side, but it was a little bit burnt. But still tasted 10 out of 10. Comes per bite in the thousands again. 1,572.7 I put there. Cost $4.95. But yeah, and then that was just after I found out that long was starting. So I put this could be a long afternoon, many multiple. I didn't in the end, but I did at about the 40th minute, just before Nunes gave away the penalty. I decided to go into yellows, get some chips.
Turns
And
out it
I'm
wasn't
glad
a
I
long
missed that.
afternoon.
Yeah,
It
to be fair,
it wasn't Long's afternoon at all.
not at all, not in the slightest. And then I just got bored, so I had my chips at half time, and then the fourth goal kick went in, and I went home.
Fair enough.
I don't usually leave early, but for that, yeah, might as well get the earlier train an hour earlier than stay and watch that shite. But that was my sausage roll review, and we had a guest sausage roll review. And Ashton, if you want to take it away,
Yeah, so a good friend of the podcast, a very
number one fan.
Yeah, enthusiastic supporter, Penny, my mother herself, did a sausage roll review because I've been away for 2 weeks. I think we mentioned it in the podcast for work in Heacham. And right next to Heacham is on Stanton. And there's a bakery there, Mr. Bun the Baker. This guy,
It looked so elite.
He's brilliant. Like he's a class act. Whenever we go in there, he's always speaking to my mum. He loves my mum. And he always calls me my mum's dad. I'm not that old, I'm only 17. But
What?
yeah, he'll go. Honestly, we walked in there on Friday, and he goes, "You right, babe?" To my mum. I'm like, "Oh my days, okay." And he goes, "Oh, you brought Dad with you again?" Like, what?
What?
So, this is Penny's review on screen now. Price £1.50 for a bacon
Bargain.
sausage. You cannot complain with that.
Absolute bargain.
Taste 9 out of 10. I watched my mum eat that sausage roll. She fell in love with the first bite. Crumbs per bite 7.3. You can't complain with that. You're always going to get some crumbs.
Quality, yeah.
Appearance 8 out of 10. She done like a bit of goldenness on it, and I'm a bit opposite. I like a bit of a gold, bit of a crunch.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she put, "I really enjoyed sausage roll at Jeffman98 for had tag you, sorry. When you're this way, I'll treat you to one lovely jubbly."
I will take her up on that offer 100%.
Can I just take this back a second to the bit where Ashton was talking about watching his mum eating sausage?
No. Oh, no.
Go on.
Because it was sus. I'll be honest, it was quite a sus comment.
That wasn't even the worst thing that happened that day, or like the worst thing that was said.
Okay. Do you want to share with the group?
We're putting up to handstand, and this last week I've had some ligament damage to my ankle. I don't know what I've done, how I've done it.
Fucking hell.
And so I've got a bit of a wobble.
I must say, the Canary guys are falling apart. We're all sort of dying in our own ways.
And we're trying to find a place to park in Hunstanton. I don't want to park too far away. And in my head, I was saying, it's fine. You can have a break or a rest, whatever you want to call it. And for some reason I said, it's right, Mum. I know you like breast. And then she just started laughing. And I just turned around saying, I like breast. Can't go wrong with breast. So yeah, that's probably not even the saddest thing that happened that day.
Wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear.
I feel like I should throw my 50p in here and do my own sort of sausage roll based segment.
Yes, go ahead.
What I'm going to say is that I did have a sausage roll this week. Here's what I did. I bought a sausage roll for, I think it was 85p. It was a Ginster's one from Tesco.
Oh.
And I bought it home. It was in the reduced section. So
I know what you're going to say as well.
Stuck it straight in the air fryer.
Yes.
10 minutes in the air fryer. Fuck, it was world class, boys. Honestly, if you've not got, everyone listening to this now, if you've not got an air fryer, you are missing out, right? You can put any pastry in there from like Tesco, it becomes elite.
The Canary Guys podcast is now sponsored by Ninja Air Fryers.
Put a fucking all day breakfast baguette in it, and it was fucking world class.
I saw a picture of that looked legendary.
I'd love to be sponsored by Lidl. I'm a Lidl enthusiast every day.
I'd love to be sponsored by Ninja because then we can get the slushy machine as well.
And as well, they've got pizza oven, ain't they? Oh my days.
Yeah. And the ice cream machine as well, haven't they?
Yes, Mr. Whippy's. I love Mr. Whippy's. Best ice cream, hands down.
We'll give them
Ninja,
an ad
if you're listening,
when we release the podcast.
Get us a sponsor deal.
Go on, we can sort this out.
Yeah, sort us out with some free
for ice cream, everyone.
and we will test it on podcast.
Kitchen, when are we having our pod? You've been cheating on us. I thought we were friends. You were messaging me the other month. And you've done one with the Talk Norwich City lads. Cannot believe it.
That's not cheating. We're in an open relationship with the Unthanked Kitchen. He's allowed to talk to other podcasts. Nah, we love you. We love you, Unthanked Kitchen. We'll get down for a breakfast at some point. We'll get it all sorted.
100%.
We will have to get a date for that. We also need to go for our Indian with Jack and Prentice. So P Don and Jack. Totally setty, as you all know him. And
as well, we could actually do Canary Guys podcast darts because
we can. We're going to start a darts league. Robbie is a darts man now. We've not probably mentioned this on the podcast before, but if you know about us, me and Ashton are massive darts enthusiasts, and we've bullied Robbie into getting into darts.
Pretty much.
Definitely did not go to my local dart shop today and spend £105. But
it's easily done.
I will overlay the picture on the screen of what I got. Some Christoby Gen 1s. I was looking at these for a while. A nice straight barrel. And they do the business.
Is this your first set of targets, by the way?
This is my first set of targets, yeah. And honestly,
how are you finding them in comparison to Winmore?
I was a fan of them Tuscans I was using. Nice.
They're nice, but I feel like the target always feels better.
And like you said with the quality, we had this conversation age before. You can tell the quality.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I must say, go on.
No, you're gone.
No, I'm looking at your picture of what you got from a dart shop, and you've got Freddo Faces Easter eggs. Oh, they are legendary.
They're at the back, yeah.
They're class.
Always back onto the food for Robbie, innit?
I'm just a fat twat.
World class. But yeah, we're thinking of starting a Canary Guys Darts League. So we've had some interest from a few of the boys. If you want to get involved in that, give us a shout on Twitter. We're going to start it off soon.
And by the way, if you lose to Robbie, you're guaranteed to go last because he's only had about a week experience.
He's not even got a proper board yet, has he?
I've not even got a proper board yet. And
I thought you had a board. Is it
he's been playing with like mini darts.
Oh,
it's so poor quality that like the darts aren't sticking anymore. So I've instead of playing like lawn darts, so I'm putting the dartboard on the floor and just like throwing it from the other side of the room, and it's working. To be fair, I've got a bullseye a couple of times.
Just you wait till you get a proper board and some arrows, mate.
Yeah, 18th of May, my birthday. If anyone's listening and wants to buy me birthday presents, feel free. But 18th of May, I will have a proper
Same
darts
here. If
board.
we've got any rich sponsors who want to donate to me getting a set of RVB Chronos, which are the dart I've had my eye on for a while, I keep meaning to buy them, and then I keep looking at the price and going, "Oh, I can't justify that."
Honestly, when I went to that dart shop today, I looked at them new Luke Littler ones. I thought, don't do it, Ashton. Don't.
Are
Don't
they
be.
pretty in person?
So he had him in a box. I didn't get him out because he
Not
asked
open
him
it.
like, "Can I try a set of darts?" He'll be like, "Yeah, here you go, mate. What grams?" And I didn't ask. I was tempted, but I thought I can't just use them for the sake of using them, can I? Like I can't just use and abuse this poor man who works in
I'm
this
gonna,
dart
I'm
shop.
gonna have to get you to when I go to the dart shop. I'm obviously I'm gonna drive past your house anyway. I have to pick you up on the way and get you to come and like restrain me.
Yeah. So luckily, I had my
Expecting
mum
all
there.
of my money.
If my mum was not there, I think I could have spent all my wages in that shop today. It could have been bad.
Because the second he gets a set of RVB Chronos in there, I'm on the way.
But yeah, Chris Dobie Gen 1's actually a fan of him already. I've only
Yeah.
been playing a
See,
couple of days.
I don't like player darts normally, but the Chronos I like because they've not got massive amounts
See,
of
I'm
like
the
branding
same,
on.
but a nice straight barrel, and it's just
Yeah, they're
like,
good barrel.
and they're quite thick, and I've got fat fingers, so it actually does compliment me quite nice.
That's fair. I feel we're in danger of becoming a darts podcast here, so I'll
Let's
move it
just
Just
move
on
on.
slightly.
because we could talk about darts for hours. But yeah, we'll get that darts league going soon. That's the next stage, next step for us. Right, so moving on to our Twitter question of the week. We asked for your 3-word reviews of this week in the game after today's defeat. We put this out after the game to see what the reaction might be out of interest. So we're going to read out some 3-word reviews now to see what people think. I have got 2 here. I've got Alwyn OTBC, friend of the channel. He's constantly commenting on these, so now he's Jacob Wright Enjoyer.
Brilliant, love that.
He went with sack him now.
Harsh but fair.
Harsh but fair, I think, yeah. And NCFC Ryan, who went with the Pope's dead.
Very true.
It's factual, it's correct. I'm not sure how it's relevant to Norwich, but it's magnificent. Robin,
Good
would you
job
like
to
to
you.
lead us on to the next reviews?
Of course. We then have Yellow's Insider, who is potentially maybe a guest in a future podcast, in a future end of season podcast, but we'll
Nice to get him on.
wait for that. And he said absolutely fucking wank, which
Fair, yep.
again, well done, fair enough.
Can't argue with that.
And then we have Canary Stats at Dazzling Doyle, 4UP's #1 fan, which is interesting. And he has lost interest. So, is he still 4UP's #1 fan? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Fair enough. And then Ashton.
So I've got one from MJ1974 at GibJ1974. Turip's time up. And then I've got Cars and Canaries at Cars and Canaries. Squad is shit.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's made an unfair point there.
all very fair.
And they're all entirely
It
correct.
wasn't very relevant, was it?
It's not really relevant, though, is it?
No, is it?
All right, Will McKenzie. Fucking hell. Oh, that's brilliant stuff. Fantastic opinions from you guys there. We'll get some more tweets out in the next few weeks. And obviously, we like keeping your opinions on the pod, so keep them coming.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it's probably time we moved on to the Canary Caller of the Week. Now, we've got 2 competitors again this week. And I think we're probably going to allow you guys to vote on them. I think that would be the
Yeah,
fairest
that makes
way.
sense.
We've got one from each game. And that would be the easiest way. So, Robbie, do you want to start us off with the Portsmouth Canary Caller of the Week?
Yeah, of course. And the winner of Portsmouth Canary Caller of the Week is Paul, who, I mean, he speaks for himself, really. But he is just fed up with absolutely everything to do with Norwich City. And quite frankly, we all are. So, Paul, take it away.
Go to Paul. Thanks for holding on, Paul. You left early today, Paul?
Yeah, I left at 5-2. I've said it for weeks and weeks. I'm done. I'm not reading. Oh, I can read it. I'm done with this manager. I'm done with this lemon word project. And I'll tell you one word that not one of us used, annihilation today. It was an annihilation. And yes, the players are not, and let me finish, some of these players are not fit to wear the shirt. And the manager is out of his depth. I keep saying to people when we employ the manager, please go and get someone that knows the English game. I hear rumours today of Jack Wilshere. Fine, we lost 7-1, Paul Lambert came in. Let's just get rid of this guy. Let's get Jack Wilshere. He's English. He knows the game. Yes, he's still got to work with these players that are not going to go there, but let's try something different. We can't keep going down the route we're doing. The goalkeeper today, I mean, oh my good God, Long. Oh dear. I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't see any more positives. And I said to you in a Canary call in January when you turned around and said, oh, don't worry, Ben Napper will get the transfer business done early. We didn't get hardly anything done early. We left it till the end. We don't see the new signings. What plan B do we have? We don't have a plan B. All we do is make 3 changes at the same time every single game. We're not... Listen, if one fan says, well, if we'd have beat this team, and we should have been in the playoffs, I'm a fan. I'm 20 years season ticket. I don't want to be in the playoffs with this team.
Yeah, I think, Paul, you can't. I mean, I just want to agree with you there. Norwich couldn't be further from the playoffs, could they? They're way off it in more ways than one.
Why would I want us to go up and be annihilated every week and probably end up on about 5 points? We thought Delia done a fantastic job how she ran the club. What we've got now is worse.
Then they're just so far off it, aren't they, Paul? It's really concerning, isn't it?
And it for weeks. I have been saying it for weeks, and people keep saying, well, we're still with a chance to play. Where's the Alex Tetty in midfield? Where's the man of steel? We haven't got that. We haven't got it anymore. Where's the centre-back? I mean, we brought an experienced centre-back in Shane Duffy in. Where's his experience? Where is it? It's not there for us. So, you know, and I do feel sorry for Josh Sargent, Broja. They will go. And do you know what? Go on to bigger and better things. That breaks my heart to say that as a fan, to go on to bigger and better things. But I'll tell you what, I can't keep hearing these words of just stick with the process, the project. The project is we're going to go to League One next season if we carry on with the project we've got.
I think you're right, Paul, and you are right. If Norwich carry on like this, I mean, 3-18, I think it is 3 wins in 18. I think that's right. Chris Reeve, they are going to be a relegation threatened team next season. It's not me being dramatic, or it's just form. That's what's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, we were all feeling Paul's pain, and yeah, that's just the way it is. I had the pleasure of listening to the Millwall calls.
You lucky thing.
And it was a returning legend of the Canary Call of the week that has won the Millwall Award. Tony is always a fantastic candidate for a Canary Call of the week. And this week, he decided that he was going to get progressively more high-pitched as the call went on. And he also had a rant about Eurosec not being available. He had a rant about Cordoba. It tailed off quite severely, so I'll just let it play out, and we'll go from there.
Let's go to Tony next. You want people to go, basically. Tell us what you mean, Tony.
Yeah, what I mean is, for start, Rob, we should get Brad Hills back and Tompkinson back. Now, today, I had a man the other week at Plymouth about Cordoba. He was at fault today for all 3 goals. He gave the ball away for the first one, a needless free kick for the second one, and the third one, Ivanovic had a free jump with Cordoba standing next to him, admiring him. I'm afraid the defence has got to be sorted.
Yeah, that is the problem. I mean, let's ask Leon, what did you think of Cordoba? I think lots of Norwich fans really like him, and he's got potential. He's still only 23, 24, so there's potential there, and he's an international, what have you, but he did have a poor game today, let's be honest. Yeah, Tony, what about the manager? I can see him now speaking to Chris Gore, and we'll bring you that interview.
The manager's only as good as the tools he's got. To me, the people responsible for the recruitment are the ones who should be kicked out the door. Napper for a start, right? What a disaster he's been. Bring back, what's his name, Webber, right? And also, some of the people they signed, Jurasek. What Burke decided to sign him? Yeah, wasted £7 million.
Well, it's €5 million. It's €5 million, but I get your point. I hate to split hairs, Tony, but still, I mean, what's $2 million between friends anyway? That is still a lot of money, though, isn't it?
A euro's worth more than £1, so it's nearer £6 million. So
well, that's true. Yeah, spot on. So we'll meet in the middle there. We're both wrong and both right. But no, I get the point.
The recruitment's been bad. Today, nothing on target, only Dobby's header, and that was it. There's not a lot of fight in the team, Rob, I'm afraid. There's no guts.
Yeah, and this is the thing, isn't it? I think I've said many times, and I think it sort of always rings true. I think Norwich fans, and this is always true really in the summer, but I really think they need to hear from poor old Johannes, bless him. He gets wheeled out twice a week. He has to speak to Chris or me or Phil, whoever it is who's doing the interviews. He has to explain. He has to come tell us what's going on. But what Norwich fans really need to hear from is the sporting director, ASAP after the end of the season. And, of course, we will put in a request to do that. And they also need to hear from the new owners, don't they, Tony? Just to see, I know that the Atanasios and Norfolk Holding Scott, I know they're listening. I know they listen to the phone in. And I know they listen to our commentary and watch the games, what have you. They are based in America, but surely Norwich fans need to hear from them as well, do you think? Or are you happy with them kind of being a bit more silent?
They need to put some money in the club, Rob. But like I say, a lot of clubs, who are in a worse financial position than us still spend. And in football, you've got to speculate to accumulate.
You have, indeed.
Yeah, and I'm afraid Norwich have never been a club who are willing to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Club.
Well, it's been that case, hasn't it, in recent years? Yeah, that's true.
Madison, they'd have gone bankrupt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been difficult. Thanks, Tony. Great call as always. From you, lots of passion. That's what we love.
There we are, Tony with fantastic insight and brilliant chat as usual. So we'll get those out on Twitter. We'll put a poll out for the overall Canary Caller of the Week winner, and we'll announce that next week.
Best of luck to you both.
Fantastic stuff. I believe you two have got some contenders for our Tweet of the Week this week.
We certainly do. I think we have one each, is that correct?
We've got one each, yeah, because we've got two honourable mentions, which I think me and Ashton are going to do. We found an honourable mention each, and then you've got the Tweet of the Week this week.
Yep, let's start off with the honourable mentions, I think we'll start off with.
Lovely. Ashton, would you like to give us the first honourable mention?
This week's honourable mention goes to a man who has been on the podcast. So, Friday's lineup, Chris Gorham puts Agnes go missing. Understood his wife is due to give birth very soon. So away for personal reasons. And Jack at Totally Tete responds with an amazing clip of Roy Keane.
He didn't have the baby, did he? Unless he's breastfeeding, he should be alright.
For me, I've already mentioned loads about Roy Keane. I quote that man on the daily. So for me, that had to be a contention for Tweet of the Week.
Fantastic tweet. Yeah, well done, Jack. Totally Tete. Fantastic work.
Well done, Jack.
Brilliant stuff. You've got an honourable mention this week. An honourable mention goes to another friend of the podcast from me. This was a late entrant because this was only posted. We're recording this at 9:30. This was posted at 8:15 today. Sammy Dingle. He's back.
The man, the myth.
The man, the myth, the legend. This was his tweet. Currently sat on a rail replacement bus between Billericay and Colchester, listening to some blokes talking about how we should get Pogba in next season and how Thorpe might struggle to manage him. Good night, everyone. It's probably just a situation that's happened, but it's a magnificent tweet, and the fact that someone's having a genuine conversation about us getting Paul Pogba is fucking phenomenal work.
Honestly, Pogba at Norwich will never happen.
But the Tweet of the Week, which Robbie is going to introduce.
And that will happen. And this is from another... I think we can call him a friend of the pod because we're still trying to get the Canary Call jingle from his hands. It's John Rogers.
Well, we'd like him to be a friend of the pod. So, if you're listening, please give us the jingle, man. I'll pay you royalties. I swear to God.
We'll clip this up. We'll clip up the awards, and then we'll at him personally.
We will get this out on Twitter for the award.
Because John is our winner this week, and he said, since January, the Pope has made more appearances than Jurasic. And that's just
Yep.
brilliant.
It's very true.
It is very true.
Nick Pope has made more appearances.
A certain other Pope.
The other Pope, who is now deceased.
To be fair, so could Jurasek. So
Yeah, we're still hypothesising that Eurosec is deceased also, aren't we? So,
but John, well done, mate. Congratulations. It's a high accolade winning Tweet of the Week. So I'm very proud of you.
fantastic stuff. Brilliant. Donkey of the Week now, and it was real easy this week.
So
Donkey
easy.
of the Week is the entire Norwich City squad.
Apart from Jacob Wright.
All right, yeah, we'll let you have that one. And Rory McConville, if you want.
No, he hasn't been involved in any of the games. So
No, well, this is the thing. How are you going to do 30 seconds of Rory McConville?
I think it has to be cancelled this week.
No.
Actually,
you could
it
just
doesn't.
chat about how much you like him.
He did do an interview the other day while on an exercise bike.
Have you seen
yes.
the clip of him getting a cream egg and he just goes, "Oh, okay, thank you. I need to get that clip. I love that clip."
I'll find that clip and put it in.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, keep it.
So go on, speak about Rory McConville for 30 seconds.
Do your 30 seconds of Rory McConville.
It's just like, when's he going to get his chance? Shane Duffy messes up week in, week out, yeah? And, like, that chance for him is just never, ever going to come. Like, what was the point of us bringing him in if Johannes is going to bring him on for 20 seconds at the end of every game? And he even done that today. Did he even come on against Portsmouth? Probably for about 2 minutes.
I think he came on right at the very end, didn't he?
Shot
like he
horror.
did.
I was gone. I was on the train.
Rory McConville did not come on against Portsmouth at all. So you're telling me when our defence has conceded 4 goals in the last 2 games, you don't think about bringing on a defender who has actually done all right for us like that? I always mention that goal line clearance against West Brom, and I know I overuse it, but it's the only minutes he's bloody played for us. But yeah, I just feel bad.
Also, the lineup on Sky Sports has Oscar Svartal playing left wing back.
Brilliant.
Against Portsmouth. I just wanted to point that out.
Speaking about Rory McConville, shout out to the Canary Guys podcast TikTok account. There is a clip on there about last week's 30 seconds of Rory McConville. Make sure you follow that for some of the podcast's best moments.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, we'll get the TikTok promoed. There's a few clips going to go out on there, so yeah, make sure you follow that. Ashton will get the clips out, and we'll get it all cracking. Have we got anything else to go over, boys? I think we pretty much covered everything.
I think that's it. I'm just ready for the season to be over and be able to
exactly that
sleep happily.
Get in the pub. Yeah, there's also I think we've mentioned this previously, but there might be plans for an end of season quiz. Just going to put that out there. Details are not finalised yet, but it could be happening. So keep your eyes peeled. Lovely. Well, that's everything. Thank you very much for listening to us rant and scream about how shit Norwich are for the last hour. We will see you next week.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.